In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to replace your coil boots on your Subaru Forester. They're located on either side of the engine. Take your negative battery terminal off. Alright, first thing I'm going to do is disconnect this hose clamp and disconnect the air box. From here, I'm going to take these, flip them up, and take this off. Now I'm going to disconnect our mass airflow sensor. And so now we're going to take our harness off here. Use some needle nose pliers and just squeeze in those ears. And then we can get this out of the way. And it's a good time to check your air filter. And now we have a clear shot at our ignition coil. All right, so we are going to disconnect this wiring harness. I'm going to push in on this tab. And then pull the wiring harness off, like so. Then you're going to use a 10mm socket and loosen up our bolt. Once you crack it loose, you can try to use your fingers or a long socket. To loosen it the rest of the way, whatever you can get in there. Okay, now we're going to remove our bolt. Place that to the side and pull our coil out. And there we have it. So now we're going to remove this and put the new one on. You're going to want to be gentle. Alright, so once you get the boot off, you're going to see there's a spring in there. The new coil boot comes with its spring in the coil. And put your coil boot on like that. Alright, so you're going to want to put a little bit of dielectric grease just on the outer edge there. And now we're going to put it back in the hole. Apply a little pressure. And you can put your bolt back in. Definitely hand start it so you don't cross thread anything. Now we can tighten it down to 6.3 foot-pounds. If you can get a torque wrench in there. If you can't, just wrist tight is good. And reconnect your connector. Make sure it's secured and your ignition boot is installed. Alright, now that you've done this first one, great. The process is similar for the rest of the ignition coil boots. You may need to move a few things out of the way, but once you're there, this process is the same. Alright, so now we're going to put our air filter back on. Put our box back together. I'm going to make sure we have our wiring harness hooked up first. Now I'm going to place our air box back together. The air box, there's 2 slots down there you got to line up the bottom with, or it will not sit in there properly. Once you get that in, then you can put the rest of it together. I'm going to snap these in place so we don't lose our space there. And slide this back on. I'm going to reconnect our connector. When you hear the click, it's good. And we're going to snug up our hose clamp. Going to use an 8mm to tighten the hose clamp back up. And just recheck your work, make sure everything's connected, your connectors for the coils. Everything else looks good. Now we can reconnect our battery. Push it down, snug it up. And once that's snugged up, make sure that this is back on the stud that it came off of. Start her up and take it for a test drive.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.